page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network YouTube channel, GBN channel 7, 11, and 20, and the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9. It is Open Line Friday here on the program. 435-2041 is the number to call and contribute. Any thoughts that you have, questions, queries, concerns, or comments, now is the time to do so. You can also send in your questions, queries, comments on the WhatsApp. It's 435-2041, but please do not voice or video call the WhatsApp. We can't take those calls. Neither can we listen to your voice notes. Just type in your questions, only written questions, and I will share them with our audience for you. We have our first phone call of the program. No. Okay. The person cut off. If we can please leave our comments, questions, queries, concerns to 3 minutes or less, it would be very much appreciated so that we can facilitate as many callers as we possibly can. People say 3 minutes is too long. Some say it's too short. For now, we'll leave it at 3 and see how it goes. Okay? Let's take our first phone call. Good morning. Good morning.
Miss Blossom, a very pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, my contribution this morning, I would like to say thumbs up to Grenlec. I'm very, very happy with the ruling with Grenlec and Grenada. Grenlec has won big time, and I am happy. And we in Grenada, we don't intend to loan. So Grenlec, put the pressure on. I'm happy and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, caller. I can't really comment because I have to really read what the ruling was to really understand. I don't really grasp the ruling itself, so I would reserve my comment for now until I fully grasp what the ruling means for Grenadians, Grenlec, and the government. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom.
Good morning.
And how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. What I really would like to find out is...
sorry. Could you just turn the volume down on the television? Yeah, the echo. Right, go ahead.
What I would like to actually know, what's the population of Grenada at the moment? Any idea?
The last average they had was 110,000.
110,000, because what I'm trying to say is, they always say 110 or 100,000, but there is more dying than born. I personally think right now the government should have a census between Greater Carriacou and Petit and try and get the true figure, because they've been saying that for the longest time. And if you look at the death news, every week, more than 100 people dying. Well, I don't think 100 babies born at that time now. So I think they should actually have a census, and only a suggestion, and try and get at least the close to figure. I don't know what you think about it, but I think they should. Have a nice day anyhow.
Thank you very much. I won't say 100 people dying. There have been days when the obituary actual survey to get an idea of the population, I think it would take more than just going to births and deaths. Not all deaths are reported, not all births are reported, especially in a timely manner. And in this new dispensation of social distancing, I'm not sure how best we can conduct a survey at this time. Maybe when everything clears up, they can revisit the count. But for now, we've been working with between 100 to 110,000 people in Grenada until further notice. Let me check the social media to see if there are any comments. In the meantime, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. I want to make 2 points. If it's rich with the Chinese that own this company, you know what is going to happen with the Grenadian workers? 3/4 of these workers and them would be going home, because they would be bringing in their own workers in this country. As you know, when people come to do business, you have to give them a little concession to bring in workers too. I believe 3/4 of the workforce, the local workforce, would be going home. And I want to make a next point about this lady who they say was in a hotel and alleged to have the complaint. If Sir Hopkins, Royston Hopkins was living, And this woman was in this hotel. You would have never seen they exposing this hotel. They willfully, maliciously expose the hotel because they have a problem with the management. Because remember what they did to the Hamilton Trader? He owned the land and the hotel owned by somebody else. So they've vindictively exposed the hotel because of all these things. It's a wicked administration led by this Mitchell. It's too lame and vindictive that Grenada is going to ball. And I'm calling on the NDC leadership to organize a demonstration in this country. Organize a demonstration in this country, a serious demonstration in this country to ask the government to leave Green Lake where it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, let's be a little bit respectful with the name calling, please, and thank you in your own personal time and conversations. I can't tell you anything, but when we call the program, if you can please control our name calling, that would be appreciated. As explained by Grenada's COVID-19 coordinator, Dr. George Mitchell, they found that naming the hotel was part of their responsibility so that members of the public can be aware, especially those who have been to the hotel or intended to, or guests or so on. I have heard two sides of the coin, some people complaining that it was not right to do, and I have also heard people saying they appreciate naming the resort since they were in that vicinity. Someone even told me they were in the hotel in recent times, so they appreciated it. I guess there are two sets of feelings as it relates to naming the resort in the issue. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear sister Blossom.
Good morning, Ms. Jacob. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm well.
Nice.
Taken care of. I went up for me, the government have for me the senior citizen pension. I went up all those. They say they come in and bring it, but I had also go for my medication. So if they bring the money for me, it makes no sense. I have to go back up. So I go up, I get the money, and I get my neighbor on, and thank God and thanks the neighbor, thanks the Almighty God for bringing the Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell. Dr. Keith Mitchell is the after Uncle Gary. Dr. Keith Mitchell. And then, well, how they call him had a little piece out of it, but his own set of people kill him. You see, if how they call him, they take the bullet by the pen, he'd get a thing, but he take it. If you die by the gun, if you die by the sword, you shall die by the gun. That is what the Bible says. And my dear sister, people have to have respect. Understand what I'm telling you? Have respect. I love the best for Grenada, Quebecois, and Petit Martinique. You can't get nothing better than that. You cannot. So, boss Sister Blossom, you go have to take it easy and keep up the program. And what about my mommy?
She's okay. She's okay. Thank you, Ms. Jacob.
Right, bye, sweetheart.
Bye-bye. 435-2041. There is someone on the WhatsApp. I do not understand the Grenlec issue. Could someone call in and explain? That would be appreciated. For those of us who may not have grasped the ruling. No, never mind. I'll hit up that person privately. Good morning.
Good morning. Blossom, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You see, let me tell you something. In Grenada, people have to be fair, and people have to like what is truth because we say we are Christians, right? Now, when you listen to this last caller who is saying that, people have to be respectful, why when the Prime Minister says so many nasty things about people, they don't come out and condemn him too? Why when other people say other things, they condemn them? But why is it when he says things, and we all know he says nasty things about people, why don't they condemn him too? And I am also in support of what is happening with us in Grenada. Let us open our eyes and see who love us and who care for us, because tax is going to kill us. It's going to kill us more, and more tax is going to kill us. With that case, they have lost with Grand Lake. People, open your eyes and see that these people don't love you, they don't love us, they don't like Grenadians. Are you going to let the electricity company, who is doing such a good job for Grenada, be sold to people who would bring their own people, and we own people going to lose our jobs and the cost going to be exorbitant? People, open your eyes and see what is happening with us. This first caller said the truth. Yes, you don't like this name calling, but you may have to call names when you have to express yourself. I am quite in support of him and what he said, and Grenadians, pray for your country, because you go in a cinema, the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the cinema, that was the end of current. You had to walk up in the dark night, because they were in those days you didn't have current. So people, open your eyes. Don't let us go back to the dark, dark days, because it is not nice. And a lot of our young people, when we were growing up, we learned to do, and we were very skillful, but our parents taught us a lot. Nowadays, children only have a computer, a tablet, a phone in front of them, and they don't learn to do nothing. So this generation, going to suffer more than we did suffer. So have a good day. Enjoy your weekend, darling.
Thank you. You do the same. Two wrongs don't make a right. If you feel like the Prime Minister has been disrespectful, you want to be respectful to everybody. This is not a political show. So if you want to call and make contributions in whatever way, form, or fashion, we should do so in a respectful manner, and not just to the Prime Minister or his office or the person, but to everybody else listening. If when you're having your personal conversations, you want to go down that road, by all means, go forth. But please refrain from doing so on this platform. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning, Ms. Jeremiah. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Not too bad.
Okay. I wanted to make some comments, but I think I'd rather leave that and stick to what my responsibility is to the nation, to read the Word of God. And I want to read, what I'm reading is really should pertain to us believers, those of us who call ourselves Christians. And the reading is taken from 1 Corinthians 10, verse 1, and from verse 5 to 12. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the clouds, and all passed through the sea. Verse 5. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. It's talking about the people who left Egypt, the Jews who left Egypt. Now these things were our example, to the intent we should not lust and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore, let him that think he stands take heed lest he fall. Let him that thinketh, we're speaking to the believer, the children of God. A lot of us sometimes think we're standing and we're in Christ and we're going ahead and we're praising God, but in our hearts are not right. Bitterness, anger, hatred, resentment, unforgiveness, all these things. He said that we benefited all. They all came from Egypt. They passed through the Red Sea. They went into the Promised Land, and they just did. He said God was not well pleased with some of them. And we see the judgment. They were eaten of serpents. They fell in the wilderness. They were destroyed by the destroyer. And these things, he says, all these things are for our example in these days, where the ones who are alive on earth as coming to the end of the world. He says, wherefore, let him that thinks he stands take heed, lest he fall. Have a blessed day, darling. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jeremiah. And on that note, let's take a very quick break before we take more phone calls. This is To The Point on Classic and the GBN. We will be right back.
The Grenada Airports Authority wishes to advise the general public that the flying of kites within the vicinity of the airport is prohibited. Prohibited areas include, but not limited to, Caliste, Frequency, Fort Judy, St. Paul's, Mount Parnassus, and Mount Morris, and the vicinity of Lauriston Airport in Carriacou. Flying of kites poses serious threat to aircraft safety, as kites can be easily ingested into aircraft engines or become entangled in aircraft propellers, resulting in engine failure with tragic consequences to aircraft passengers and persons on the ground. The Grenada Airports Authority, therefore, urges the general public to cooperate towards ensuring the safety of aircraft operations into and out of the Maurice Bishop International Airport. The Grenada Airports Authority will be seeking the assistance of the Royal Grenada Police Force in dealing with violators of this notice. Let us all play our part in making this Easter kite flying season a safe one.
Wait to see my granddaughter.
Welcome back to The Point, 435-2041. It's Open Line Friday here on the program. Let's get back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning. Whatever the government is doing now to recover the electricity company, they are right. Now, after independence, the CDC, the Commonwealth Development Corporation, gave Grenada a gift. It was a gift to us. So Eric Gary didn't sell it. Bishop didn't sell it because during that time, they had a lot of blackouts and outages, and Bishop didn't sell it. But after the fall of the revolution, these people, NDC people, they sold it for $10 million. People laugh at them. After 6 months after, Dr. Kishwell asked them to sell it back to him. They wanted $90 million for it, from $10 million to $90 million for it. Right? It might be true to say that we're getting a better supply of electricity and things very better. But this, what they did wasn't a good thing, because now they want to do manufacturing. They cannot do it because the cost of electricity is too high. And whenever the oil it goes up, these people, the OBIB brothers, how you call them in Miami, these people never reduce the cost of electricity. Now, just before the hurricane, a lot of us used to pay something like, I'm thinking, all the houses, they paying something like $240 for electricity. When Dr. Michel looked at the calculate, the formula they use to charge us, they were robbing us. And then we saw a reduction in the electricity. So now, but I should mention that after the people sold it, they sold it no conditions, you know. They just sold it. They sold it for $10 million, and that was all. No conditions made. So we had nothing. We were left with nothing. Now people are saying that Dr. Michel, they shouldn't do that, but they have a right, because the people are robbing us all other years, and they're still robbing us. And they hinder in the progress of this country because the cost of electricity is too high. We can manufacture things. A lot of people tell you mangoes and things spoiling, and they cannot do it because it's too high. Some Dr. Mitchell, another man came, he started something, and after the hurricane, he didn't go back to it because he said it's too high, it costs too much. So people understand that. And that woman in particular called earlier on, and that man, these people have a problem. They have a very bad problem. The man who called, well, sorry, I don't know if he doesn't get a heart attack yet because he's such in a rage and he's so hit.
Okay, you're going down the
right.
road too. Thank you very much.
No.
Yeah, you start to go down the road about should get heart attack. Lord, 435-2041. Somebody on the WhatsApp says, I guess it's golden opportunity to return to dark days of corruption, mismanagement, and blackouts. For those who really need to understand the Grand Lake issue, please quickly Google Worrell Report and you would fully appreciate the contribution Grand Lake has made to Grenada's development over the past 26 years. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Blossom.
Morning.
Let me preface my contribution with two short quotations. The first one says, facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. And that's by Aldous Huxley, the writer. The second one is, the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. And that is by Daniel J. Bostine. Now, and I think we really have a crisis in Grenada. Crisis of illusion. People are losing themselves to think that they are informed about things when they are least informed. And the best we can do is to go and find out the facts, analyze it, and try to fortunate that we still continue in a tribal approach in a time of crisis, not to try to galvanize our people collectively to face, like for instance, what is done in California overnight. We need to really understand what should be our priority right now. And our priority, as far as I'm concerned, should be health and safety, and the health and safety and well-being of our people. And to me, I'm not seeing signs that we're really interested in doing that. We're interested in displaying our ego. So I'm saying that it's probably not too late. I think it's late already, but maybe not too late for us to wake up. Because as the other places who titivate, who delay when they should have those decisive things, are finding now, and even being warned, some other countries are being warned, like England and so on, that they will face the same situation like Italy faced because of their delay. We're doing the same thing here. Barbados is playing the fool with the people also. We need to understand that this thing is a more serious thing. And you see, people go and they get things on the net and that kind of thing, and they say, well, I am informed, especially those who are those who control the media. And in a lot of ways, I mean, I think it's sad. It's sad, their information about, for instance, have you tried to explain to people what is a virus, the structure of the virus, how it is, how it gets a hold on things. We haven't really done that. I want to thank GBN, however, for yesterday, that program with Brenda, which the man, the doctor from St. George's University. I thought that was one of the better attempts so far in terms of helping people to understand what is at stake. We need more of that kind of thing so that people will be at ease. The panic thing, the selfish behavior that we have in going and buy things and put on gloves, all these things are unnecessary at this stage. The key is understanding what the nature of this thing is and learning to be calm and to be our brothers and sisters keeper, which we are not. We are in this thing for just ego, ego, ego. I could go on, but I would leave for somebody else. But I want to finally say, this is a final moment, and I'm shaking as I'm talking here. This is a final moment to really open the eyes and see that we're going down a precipice, and we could stop ourselves. I mean, if we just wake up from the dream, the illusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for your contribution. There is a comment. I usually try to read through it before I start. Comment on the WhatsApp. The priest said, it is not the end of time, but I disagree based on the following. The Bible is clear that earthquakes, political squabbles, lies, manipulation of the poor, food shortage, knowledge shall increase, and the gospel shall be preached, and then shall the end come. China has 300 million Christians and 60 million Muslims compared to 9 million. Members of the Communist Party think the end is no. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Morning, greetings, Blossom.
Good morning.
Yeah, well, at least on this whole affairs that we facing today in this world. No, everybody talks sometimes about the devil, you know? But to me, the devil is what you call fear. And fear, anyone who try to interject fear into you, see them as the devil. And the world today is what the devil is doing. Putting fear into everybody where fear isn't there. Why fear isn't there? Death is inevitable. Our way of life is to be clean. They say, well, you have a part where it says cleanliness is close to godliness. You know? Christ, Peter, John the Baptist, baptize him, cleanse him, wash him in the river, Jordan. No. Everybody want to clean their hand. They want to clean their food. They reach to the stage where they're greeting each other with food now. And all what? Fear. Fear. No. What we doing for inside of us? Where? We so pure within. What goes in is not what defiles you, what comes out. Right now is what coming out. They say if you cough, you don't go in the editor so it's not airborne. The liars continue lying. You know, the evil continue creating more evil. The fearful ones, one company, so they're creating more fear. And all who have faith now, faith crumble. Faith crumble, my sister. Where the faith gone? Why not say we could go in the middle of the fire and not get burned now? Or we can't say that. We have to watch ourselves. This life is not what man only make the system. But the creation that we live in is the Most High God, the creator of family, just like what we done who have one down here. We're doing it. And they not far. Don't look in sky for them. They right among us. And the reason why I can say the things that I say is because I always tell Grenadians, we have ancestors who paying attention to us, but we turning our back on them. And we're drinking of the milk from the wrong breast. So eventually, when situations like that come, it's the milk you drink that causes you to live in fear. Grenadians, we are a little people. Watch the big mighty walls and them around us. We have things that they desire. For instance, we didn't have to depend on nothing from the outside. That's why the creators and give us a real capacitic piece of land fat oil running out as a sea from it. Fertile from the soil to the people. But we're not recognizing ourselves and we're not putting our foreparents forward. Look right now, everybody crying and running what they should take. Our ancestors give to our foreparents medicine. Enough of us know herbs. We could go outside here and push or pull a bush. And for instance, you could go outside here, close your eye and pull a bush. You know what I'm saying? And we boil and we drink and we eat because they make that for us, but we deny the herbs that they give us. We just like we deny our foreparents and we're watching elsewhere and think they go help us. They're rising now. All those that go down in the sea rising up. You think when things are going on, they saw it just going on because, man, they have no control over it because our first blood flowing now. They're coming up. Spirit walk in the earth. They walk in the earth. Okay. We don't have to fight no war. They don't fight it for us. Because we didn't deserve what they have done us as a race people. Okay. And that's what our own people are afraid of. And tell these people and them who have us under this condition and leaving us in fear.
All right.
When they have the antidote behind the door. So they mess us up and they go and they protect themselves.
All right.
The race they're watching because they realize we're wising. Okay. Knowledge increase.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. You are way over the 3 minutes, 4.5 minutes actually. 435-2041. If you can please keep our comments, questions, queries, concerns to 3 minutes or less. so we can facilitate as many contributions as we can. Good morning.
Morning, Blossom. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Well, Blossom, if people get to read that Worrell report is very shameful, embarrassing. I don't know how some people will have a conscience. I think it is alleged in the report that some people should have been arrested, banned from office. Watch that report. I can't understand. People really had their guts. But my issue is this. If these Chinese people take over that company or buy it or whatever you want, however you want to put it, apart from they're going to be bringing in their people, the majority of people that they're going to have, if they have to employ Grenadians, they go be contract work. And Grenadian is a very good company. I can't begin to even talk about the contribution that Grenache has made to this economy. I can't. If I go to start now, I wouldn't be able to finish because we see it wrong. Good quality paying jobs, job security. Now, when these people come in, they're going to bring in half of the people. You see, every time they do something, they bring in their own engineers, they bring in their own this, they bring in their own these people don't understand what is actually going on. Good quality jobs would be lost. And let me tell you something. I don't know that the electricity would be reduced, because remember, these people invest in. They will be paying millions of dollars, and they want to get back the money. You think they're going to go reduce electricity rate? Although I heard the government talking about some regulatory body and all kind of as a matter of fact, this thing that's going around that they're saying, they're giving consultation. Apparently, a lot of people have a lot of problems with it because it is alleged that one of the so-called buyers that want to buy the company, not the Chinese, have a lot of difficulty with a lot of things that probably we don't know about. The bottom line is that no investor wants to run a company at a loss. So you think that the people, the new buyers, if it come to that, reduce electricity significantly, that we'll be able to have factories and this and all this kind of a nonsense. So put it on your pipe and smoke it. They wouldn't reduce it because everybody looking, and that's the world. That is business. You have to have a profitable organization, and the people have to make back their money. They go reduce it. And also, I just want to speak briefly about some comments I made. And I know you always say that is respect other people's opinion and what they say. But what I was talking about, it was not opinion. It is a fact. These people in the revolution time used to come up on my father's step with gun, put it in all your pipe and smoke it. We have to run inside. They're trying to take the property. So what I'm trying to say is what people experience. I'm not supposed to overthrow a government. You have to solve your problems peacefully, because that is the world today. That is why people are so violent, because every little thing they do, they settle with violence. You have no right. And all those people that was involved in the so-called revolution, including the lady I was making that kind of remark, she should have been arrested, and all of them, if they are part of the revolution.
Okay.
Because they commit treason. And don't solve a problem with violence. The revolution was violent, and it is wrong. Okay. Don't uphold it. Put it in all your pipe and smoke it.
Thank you very much, caller. On that note, let's take another break and come back inside. It is 24 minutes to 10. Keep it locked. This is To The Point.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
See it first on GBN. All the stories, from politics to industrial unrest. Tourism. Light it up. Light it up.
Nation to Grenada.
Entertainment. Sports and culture.
Great shot there of Anderson Peters from Grenada, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist.
See more on GBN, your most credible source for information. Nightly at 7.
Welcome back to the Point Open Line Friday here on the program. Let's get back to the phone lines. Somebody has called asking to read out the points that were made in the article related to the ruling between WRB and government. I would look for it and see how I can read it for you. Let's go to the phone lines in the meantime. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
Yes, happy to come on after you did that commercial, after you do that health tips.
Yes, thanks for holding.
For nation, yes. I just want to say that as a people, we keep, doing the do's and the don'ts and protecting ourselves and our families, our friends, and Grenada. And I must be thankful to God. Right now, at this time as I speak, there are no cases yet. And I want to applaud Dr. Mitchell and the team, the minister, everyone, the government, the people, you, the media, doing a fantastic job. And I want people to be careful of the few propagandists that, hate Grenada and trying to distort information and also to bring fear and lies and propaganda. We have a historical pattern of these few elements in the society. And I urge people, stay to the facts, stay to the do's and don'ts, and let us do whatever we can to protect our little rock, Grenada, Carriacou, Petimatic. Thank you, Blossom, and have a good weekend.
Thank you. You do the same. Before we get back to the phone lines, just quickly, the Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, is expected to make a national address tonight, Friday, March 20th at 8 p.m., centered on COVID-19, aka coronavirus. Again, the national address begins at 8 p.m. I believe it will be carried on all our local stations as well as on social media, the various Facebook pages of different media houses, different individuals. So be sure to tune in and you can be able to catch that possibly anywhere you look. In relation to the judgment or the ruling, the tribunal in the international arbitration between the government of Grenada and WRB has issued its ruling. In 2017, WRB brought the government of Grenada before the tribunal, demanding that the government buys back WRB's 50% shares in Grenlec. The tribunal, in giving its ruling, followed the contract as was signed by the government of Grenada in 1994 during the Nicholas Brathwaite administration. The market value of the shares was not used, but instead the formula as dictated in that contract was used to arrive at the repurchase price, which is much higher than the market value. The award is as follows, and I have been told that the figures are in US. $58,427,962 million for US million dollars for share repurchase, $6,654,000 US dollars for pre-award interest, and $6,553,115 US dollars for fees and costs to claimants. In arriving at the repurchase price, the tribunal deducted from WRB's repurchase amount all dividends they received from the time of the claim to the time of the award. Grenadians now have the opportunity to benefit from the new framework and lower prices, including households generating and using their own electricity, while selling any excess to Grenlec at prices regulated by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. That's the news release issued by the government in relation to the ruling. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Blossom. No, listen to me. I believe God is a Grenadian. You know why I believe God is a Grenadian? Because look at all what's going on all around the world. And we bless. We so far, we're looking good. Now, Trinidad have 64 people that came from a ship, and all of them tested the COVID. And we have people out there who've been working on ships and things, and some of the ships, they grounded now, and all of them will be coming back home.
Well, repeat what you just said. All of them, the Trinidadians that returned from the ship.
Something Trinidadian national came back from working on a ship, and all of them tested positive with the COVID.
No, I do not. But that's why I asked to repeat to make sure I heard what you said.
Yeah, because it's 64. It's about 64. I think it's about 64. And them tested positive, and they have them on quarantine.
No, they didn't test positive.
They didn't positive.
As of this morning, Trinidad has, I have to double check, but it's less than 10
listen.
coronavirus cases.
That news, they have them on quarantine, and they test them, and all of them been tested positive. But I don't know. Well, that is the news I got from a website, and that is reliable.
No, when they have them on quarantine because they come from the ship, but the test that they're doing, they have not received positive cases, positive results as of yet.
As of yet, all right.
So I guess they're probably still waiting on the results.
Maybe that news will reach. Anyway, I just want to make another point. You know, there are some haters in this country who hate progress, and you know, Mars Bishop used to teach us about that, about people who always pretend that they love the country, but they don't. You know? And if we having problem here in this country to develop in many ways, and there are investors who's blocking us from doing that, and if the government is trying to build this country, I feel we should at least cease from all these negative comments and people keep making money. And I keep hearing them all around, like they make it their duty. That is their job. And all calling program go around spreading this kind of negative lies. I hate it. I don't like it. No, they waking me because I've been lying, but I'm telling them I'm alive now, and the corona don't take me yet. And I waiting. I go deal with them. Trust me. They waiting me, man. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Again, let's be careful with the information that we take as gospel. As of this morning, Trinidad and Tobago has only 9 confirmed cases of COVID-19. I am not sure exactly where you're getting mixed up. However, one of the reports coming out of Trinidad is that one of the 9 cases interacted with approximately 66 people. That's part of the contract tracing taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. So they are locating these 66 people to possibly quarantine them and test them to see how far the spread has gone. So as of this morning, Trinidad only has 9 COVID-19 cases. As it relates to the people returning from cruise ships, many of the nationals from various countries that are returning home are being quarantined while tests are carried out. That is also the case that would take place in Grenada, as announced in post-cabinet briefing, I believe it was last week, as it relates to cruise ship passengers, cruise ship workers. So even if they're quarantined, that does not mean they have a positive result as yet. It's just a precaution while tests are carried out. So again, Trinidad, as of this morning, has 9 cases. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Welsh. Greetings. I have 2 points this morning, but I know how to match them up in 3 minutes. Listen to me. The first is this. It is evident to me, Citizen Welsh, and I appreciate the fact that you give me the opportunity, that in your search or your company's search to find people to discuss the matter relative to the constitution of this here country, you all have them difficulties. So I want to propose 6 names. Hear me out well.
Hold on just a moment, Citizen Roll. Let me get a pen and paper because I want to take notes. All right, yes, go ahead.
Cecilia Grenade, the so-called Governor General, she supposedly gets her authority from Section 19 and 57 of the Pitatrian pamphlet of the Imperial Order and Council of the Queen's Most Excellent Majesty. The second person is Keith Mitchell, the so-called Prime Minister. He gets his authority from Section 58. And the third is Darshan Ramdani. He's the so-called Attorney General. He gets his authority from Section 70. But there are 3 other agents. 1, Francis Alexis, LLB PhD, Lawrence Joseph, LLB PhD, and Ruggles Ferguson, LLB. I can suggest that these people certainly, with all confidence, know the answers to the questions that I ask. And so I'd appreciate if you can consult them. The second issue on the issue related to COVID, stroke, people with disabilities in this area population, Citizen Welsh. I'm extremely concerned that up to now, in all this build-up to the protection of the population, I haven't heard a word from the Ministry of Social Development the population of people with disabilities in this country. I know, Citizen Welsh, as a result of a report survey done and report published by the World Health Organization last year, June, that people in this here country with disabilities die in their houses for lack of medical attention. And it bothers me that the Ministry of Social Development have not said, nor the Ministry of Health has said a word, not one word, about the protection of this. I don't really like the word, but we have to use it. Delicately vulnerable people in this here country. Another significant thing as it goes around to the information being disseminated. How are the people who suffer with hearing impairments getting this information? I'm concerned about this. I wish the people who are the Ministry of Social Development would get up and make a statement on what they're putting into place for the protection of people with disabilities in this country, especially those beyond 60, 70 years. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day, will you, Citizen Welsh?
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo. 2.5 minutes. You go, Citizen Rollo. Thank you very much for keeping under the 3 minutes. Well done indeed. I will definitely take your name suggestions into consideration. But just as a note, it has kind of taken, while I understand the urgency to deal with the issue, it has kind of taken a back seat in relation, considering what's happening with COVID-19, which has been the focus over the past few weeks. But it's not forgotten. Rest assured, it is not forgotten. The constitution of the country. Let me read some of the comments on the social media. There's a comment on Facebook that says, right, we seem to forget that government ministers work for and should be representing the interest of the people. If we, the people, are not pleased with their work, the Constitution gives us the power to act. In responding to a caller, did 50% of the shares still owned by Grenadians? That means the entire company wasn't sold out. We still have part of Grenic, so let's be fair in our contributions. Another says, subject to correction, but I think the breakdown is 50% WRB, 20% NIS and government, and the rest are private shareholders. I believe that is the case, the division. NIS should consider buying the WRB shares. That way it remains in our hands. Another comment says, our Grenadians can buy themselves. All we need is 20,000 of us willing to invest between $1,000 to $5,000 each and a good management structure. Another comment says, what percentage of the population was tested for COVID-19? We just have to keep testing and following the hygiene protocols, remain vigilant. As of yesterday, Wednesday, there were 18 tests done and all 18 came back negative. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, people are giving their ideas as to what they read. They are not giving all the facts. Their understanding is based on their experience. And when I hear people giving wrong information, I'm saying, poor souls, they know not what they have read. They don't know what they have heard. Anyhow, let me say exactly what I want to say now. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if a country says we do not have, I don't know how they know that. Yes, according to their experience, they may say we do not have. But there could be one or two that escaped. So I'm not saying that Grenada don't have. Yes, they may have few. And this is what I cannot understand with us. Now, nobody, to some extent, yes, they may say it. When I say they do not have the authority, they do not have the real personal knowledge because they didn't make a survey. And this is what I find so strange. We may have, but according to the investigation we have carried out, I'm not including myself, it is because we do not find any. Not Trinidad might have found 8 or 10, or as the case may be, because that's what they came in contact with. So at the same time, I'm glad as to what the government has done, or the Prime Minister. You nip it in the bud, and possibly you don't expect to get more. So people are complaining and saying that maybe he did the wrong thing by closing the port. Now, as we have realized, the port is the place where the majority of these people comes, and then they will spread the virus. So this is the best thing he has ever done, perhaps, in his lifetime. Because if we all come down with this virus, where would the government get the money to maintain us or to treat us? And this is what a lot of us do not understand. Let's say it takes 40% of the people of Grenada. Let's say 40,000 people of the 100,000. We do not have a hospital, we do not have the equipment, we do not have this, we do not have that. So he has done the best thing in his whole life, and we should be glad for it, because this is what would keep you and I safe. Because you mightn't go around people in your workplace that goes somewhere, they won't tell you they went to a fete or they mingled with certain people, and you could be infested with it. And bear in mind, it is caused by droplet infection, and we have healthy carriers. Healthy carriers mean that you could be carrying the germ and you do not know. And this is what might be happening after 14 or 21 days, when you call that maybe the incubation period. Then people would know. So I'm not going to say that they don't have. We don't find any yet. And once we close down the ports, we wouldn't get any.
Thank you very much, caller. That's why the medical professionals they frame it as there are no confirmed cases. That's the correct term. There are no confirmed cases, meaning there may be that they haven't caught us yet, but as of the test they've done, there are no confirmed cases. That's the proper phrasing of it. There's a comment on Facebook that says, no confirmed cases. In my humble opinion, 18 people being tested is a drop in the bucket. Real population sample is not big enough. It's not necessarily a sample, it's just the people who have exhibited symptoms or who, through contact tracing, they have done the tests on the 18 people. Previously, we only had about 33 tests in all, so we couldn't just test any and everybody. I understand there are more tests on the way from people who are helping us, as well as the order made by the Ministry of Health. So in the event that we need to step up on the amount of tests being carried out, we will be able to accommodate that. But as of sometime last week or so, there were just approximately 10 or so tests remaining that could be used. Let me see if I can quickly run through Lord Auntie Brenda just now. The social media morning. Dr. Mitchell went to Guyana, which has a COVID-19 case recently, if I'm not mistaken. When he returned as a concerned citizen, was he tested for COVID, or was he going to so on and so forth? According to the officials in the ministerial complex, it was not a hot spot at the time. There was only one confirmed case. He was not in the vicinity of that individual, so there was no need to quarantine or test him at the time when he returned to Grenada from Guyana. Let me see. I applaud. Where did the message just go? I applaud. Come on, work with me, WhatsApp. I appreciate the way the government is taking proactive measures in these difficult times. I'm seeing that Dominica is allowing their schools to remain open. I do not think it is a good idea. The government is trying their best to prevent COVID-19 from entering and spreading. I applaud them. Grenada's sale of Grenache was consummated by the next parliament. Good morning. I would like to let our listeners know that only the blood of Jesus that was shed for us, and it's the only thing that can save us. I unfortunately cannot read through many more of these. Keep the people informed. I am trying my very best. The Grenache issue is a serious one. I agree. And that will be all the messages that I could read at the moment. The phones are still ringing. However, we've come to the end of the program. Brenda is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. Same time, same place. I'll be back with you from Monday, God willing. Those of you who usually log on Saturday, Soca Saturday is on tomorrow, God willing. Until then, be safe, everybody. Continue practicing proper hygiene. Practice proper cough and sneeze etiquette in the crook of your arm, in your elbow. Continue trying your very best to stay COVID-free. Remember your friends, your loved ones, and the measures that we need to take. The Prime Minister's address is at 8 p.m. tonight. Hopefully everybody will be able to log on and hear from the Prime Minister himself. Have a safe, productive Friday. Be safe.